A pen name or pseudonym is another name for an author, and there are plenty of reasons where you might want to consider having one. A lot of people do different types of pseudonyms. They might just abbreviate their real name or do something totally different. There are 5 main reasons why some authors might consider doing it like you, and let's talk about the main ones. The number one obvious reason is privacy. A lot of people don't want people to know that you're the one who wrote a book like Stanky Booty Love. Maybe you don't want your coworkers to know you write that type of smut, or like your parents in your church community. Maybe your book is very controversial and you don't want the drama of people trying to attack you and your family because of your opinion. There's a lot of times where you don't want other people in your life to know what you are writing. If you feel like it's something that you need to protect your family for saying, or maybe might be a little embarrassing because your taste of entertainment, don't not write it. Just be a little discreet about it and consider a pen name. The second reason is for genre switching or branding. Maybe your author name is already associated with one type of genre. Maybe you like writing sci-fi, but now you kind of want to dabble into horror. You don't want to confuse your audience, especially if one of your genres deals with children. You don't want your children fans to open up one of your books because they see your name on it expecting a children's story and they're introduced to horror or a truckload of smut. Make sure you separate those. And an easy way of doing that is by a pen name. Separate the two. Even J.K. Rowling was known for using a different pen name after the Harry Potter books came out. Obviously, for that exact reason I just explained. She didn't want everyone to just see her as the lady who wrote Harry Potter when she had a good story. She wanted another series of books out about something totally different, and she didn't want the judgment or the criteria of Harry Potter being involved in it. So she kept a pen name. Even I technically did this, though I confess it originally started for the sake of privacy. My first original books were always thriller romances with quite a bit of smut. And I didn't want my family and certain people around me to know that I wrote those type of books for a long time. Now I'm just old and I don't care anymore. I mean, don't tell them. But I don't care. But I still keep that pen name and I still write in it because as Tracy George, I like writing more young adult sci-fi. That's what my one book is out that's already in that genre. And I've got 2 books in the works that are also in that genre. However, sometimes I do get the itch to go back to thriller romances because I have an idea. That way, if you see my name, Lindsay Jones, you're going to know it's going to be more thriller, more romance, more smut. But if you see Tracy George, you're definitely going to get more young adult sci-fi, love, and just things that are like, what the frick is happening? That's definitely more fitting of my name, I think. Third reason why it's very common for people to use a pen name is for culture or prejudice and bias. Maybe you have an amazing story, but it's about another culture, and you're worried that someone might think, ooh, you shouldn't be writing that. That's not your culture. Maybe it's about the Indian culture and you're a Black girl. Maybe you're a white girl and you wrote a really great hood girl story, but you're thinking you'll get judgment or people won't appreciate it as soon as they see your face on the back. That's why I use a pen name. Truth be told, I feel like if a story is a good story, it's a good story, and it shouldn't matter too much about who actually wrote it. But that's not the world we live in. People will judge. So sometimes it's probably better for you to get it out and more appreciated if you just use a pen name. And probably an actor to pose as you on the back. I digress. Another reason to consider a pen name is actually gender. I know that it's really sad that we are in 2023 and we still have to worry about stuff like that, but it's a real thing. The most common known story that I can think of is actually J.K. Rowling, and I hate to use her as an example again since I've mentioned her like 47 times during this video, but it's true. She went by J.K. Rowling because her publishing company advised her to. Frankly, because they thought the book would sell better for little boys, which they felt like it would be better targeted toward if they thought if the readers looked at the book and assumed that the author was male. So they abbreviated her name as J.K. Rowling. The K doesn't even stand for anything. In fact, I think she took it from like a grandmother or something just to make it sound better on the cover of the book. But it was just because of her gender. So it's something to consider if you know you're writing in a genre that has been known to do better for certain genders. I don't personally like this, but it's the thing. There are a lot of people feel like it's better to come across as gender neutral, especially if your story is controversial or cater to one gender or another. Keep your name just vague enough that you could pass as a male or female in your title. And the last reason is maybe your name just doesn't work for the story. Maybe your name is Ivana Lickett and you write erotica or Christian fiction. Not a good name choice. Maybe you need a name that better fits your genre. Maybe you need something more whimsical. Maybe you need something more serious and more sedate, maybe more business-minded. Consider it when you're thinking about writing your book. It's your right to use your name, but a lot of people will use pen if they feel like their name might be distracting to the actual story, especially if your name is very familiar with someone else's name who's a big author, where it can get confused, or like Ivana Lickett, and people are just going to crack a lot of jokes and not be able to take you seriously because they keep staring at your name. There's a lot of different ways to come up with your pen name. Most commonly, people just take like maybe abbreviations or middle names or maiden names and kind of make it roll. Even my name, Lindsay Jones, is actually a twist of a maiden name of myself and my grandmother, who I loved and lost several years ago. So it kind of is my way to honor her by writing in her name as a pen name and producing smut for the world. That's okay, right? As always, have fun with it and don't overthink it and keep writing. Thanks for watching. Bye.